Welcome back to Ghost Pirate Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today we talk about the film Unholy.
Listen, I have a story for you. Something the Examiner will love. A healing, possibly divine. A girl performing miracles after a visitation from the Virgin Mary.
Alright, so last night I went and saw Unholy. And just to be frank right off the top, no, my name's not Frank, it's Kanan. You know what I mean?
And his name is John C.
Anyway, just to be straight up from the very beginning, I was disappointed with this movie. Like, I see the name Sam Raimi tied to a horror movie, I get all kinds of excited, and I expect crazy, over-the-top, gory, weird, just stuff like Drag Me to Hell, I mean, that's just what I was expecting. And this doesn't really have that. I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I thought he did a pretty good job in this. I wasn't blown away by his character, but I felt like he did what he could with what he was given. This movie, I can't even exactly put my finger on what my big problem with it was, but it just really doesn't grab you. For one, it's very, very slow. Like, from the beginning, it's just slow. And you're waiting for things to happen. And slowly, some things happen. But even when they do, they're not like anything special. It's not like anything we haven't seen a bunch of times before. And the premise is a little different, and that is what drew me to this movie in the first place. Basically, the idea that a religious miracle type of situation could happen to someone, and yet it's actually evil. It's like a trick. You think it's one thing, but actually it's evil. But just the idea of flipping the script on a church where they think that there's this miracle that happened in this person that's been anointed and is able to heal people through, using the spirit of an angel or whatever. In this case, it would be Mary, the mother of God or whatever. But in reality, it's a demon or a devil or whatever, something possessing her, tricking her as well as everyone else. Like, I love that concept, and I felt like it could have gone a long way. But for whatever reason, it's just slow, and it doesn't really draw you in either. I don't know, man, it just really drags out and just becomes tedious, where you're just like, okay, waiting for something. And then when you finally get some stuff, and there are some pretty cool scenes, like, don't get me wrong, there is some cool, creepy moments, there are some jump scares, like, there is some cool stuff in this movie, but the fact that I felt like you've been lulled to sleep for so long, that when that stuff does hit, it just doesn't have that same punch, that same fire that you're used to in horror movies. And even then, they're not so over the top, they're not things, in my opinion, that I hadn't seen before. There was no real unique feel to things or twist to things. And there wasn't even that Sam Raimi signature feel about it to me either. I mean, I just don't know. I don't get this movie. Like I said, I was disappointed. I expected a lot from this movie. Like, I love Sam Raimi, and I was excited to see it. The previews made it look super exciting. And like I said, it has a unique premise. Like, the idea, that's pretty cool, man. I was like, dude, this is gonna be something unique, something special, something cool. And it's just a lot of watching the grass grow. Like, it really is. Like, I don't even know why they dragged it on so long, of like just all this dialogue of things, before anything really starts to happen. It's kind of baffling to me. It almost felt like two movies in a weird way. Like, there's this drama, like this chunk that's kind of a drama, religious cultish type of thing, and people trying to figure out if they believe in this or not or whatever, and just, the haters, and there's that whole part, and then there's the second half, or I don't know, it's maybe the final third of this movie, but you finally start to get some action, you start to get some creepiness, you start to see this entity, and it is pretty cool looking, I gotta say. Like, it does look pretty cool. And it is a little unique looking, but it's just, to me, a little too late. By the time I got to that point of the movie, to be honest, I was dozing off and really struggling, hanging in there, because it just dragged on way too long. I wasn't blown away by it. It's not like I hated it or thought it was a horrible movie, but if I'm going to be honest and recommending as far as if you should go and pay $10, $12, $15 to go see in the theaters, I'd be like, no, wait for it to be streaming for $5. I've seen other horror movies already this year that were far superior, like The Vigil that I just talked about a week or two ago. That was way better as far as a horror movie goes. But it's not a horror movie either, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't like it. If you did enjoy it, that's great. I honestly might even go give it a second watch when it's on streaming or whatever, but it just disappointed me because I was expecting something a little more. And like I also said, it was honestly just pretty slow and kind of boring. But that's going to do it for me today. I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts about it, so please leave them down below. Also, if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, as well as ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel and when I post videos like this. And I try to post videos like this at least 2 times every week. And also, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons, because your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.
Believe in her. Offer your soul to Mary.